Hello y'all, and welcome to Young Folk Knits. Hello y'all, and welcome to the Young Folk Knits channel. My name is Casey, and I mainly like to chat about all things fiber. So I do a lot of knitting, sometimes crocheting, some spinning. Who knows what I'm gonna be getting up to around here. I also like to chat about living on a small farm here in Arkansas. We love to raise chickens, animals, gardens, and we love spending time outdoors here in the foothills of the Ozarks. So if any of that sounds like it might be your cup of tea, then make sure and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new video content. Today I have a little bit of a shorter episode. I am recording later in the week than I normally do. In fact, I kind of thought I was not going to record at all, but I thought better late than never. I guess I should share what I'm wearing. So today I'm wearing my Soho top, which is a pattern by Kadri. I absolutely love this. I test knit this pattern before it was released, and it was a really fun experience. I chose to make mine out of Sandnes Garn Tinalina, and it was their sort of icy blue color, but I absolutely love it. It's a garter. It has a really nice neckline. It's almost like a boat neck, but it doesn't come up like this. I hate it when shirts are boat neck that try to choke you. So this one just sets really nicely. It tends to be very bra friendly, but I like that it's nice and cool for the hot summer days. And the yarn content is like a viscose linen blend, maybe cotton, but it's all summer fibers and it's just so nice. It has a I-cord bottom at the hem, which I really not like. The fabric's got a lot of drape and flowiness, and I feel like it just fits so well. It drapes so well. It's just a really nice pattern. So I decided to go ahead and record an episode, and I thought I would just share with you a little bit about what I am working on this week. So first of all, I have my test knit for the Air Tee. So this is a pattern by Haley from Ozetta, and I am using the recommended yarn, which was very kindly provided to me as yarn support by Wool Dreamers. And this is the Sauna base, and I'm using the color Ozetta. So this is a mix of 50% cotton and 50% wool. So it's got a really nice rusticy sort of feel to it, but the cotton makes it extremely soft still. I have got my body on hold actually. I've got my little needle stoppers on here. These specific ones are from Denim and Rain Fibers, and I think that they are adorable. They tend to stay on really well too. The silicone is really grippy. I have put my body on hold because I finished a ball of yarn. I really hate having yarn balls coming from all directions while I'm working in different spots. So while I do like to get the sleeves done before I finish the body, I don't like to do it until I've sort of reached the end of a ball, so I don't have to worry about tangles as much and everything getting knotted up, twisted up. I picked up for my sleeves. These are short sleeves, and I'm actually at the point where I think I'm almost done. I am going to do an I-cord bind off. So all of the finishing on this is I-cords, and I like that. It gives it low profile but still very neat and clean edges. And I think I have one more decrease left on this sleeve, and then I'll just have to make sure I've knitted to the correct length. So I am knitting this on ChiaoGoo fixed circular needles, and they have become my absolute favorite metal needle. So there's two things I really love about those needles. First of all is the tips. They have a really nice, beautiful, pointy tip to them. So I like the fact that I can get into that stitch and move it along really well. It doesn't split my yarn that often because it's also not too sharp. So I find I just really love the tips on these needles. I love that they're metal. Metal seems to be the fastest medium for me to knit with. But the other thing that really sets these needles apart, I feel like, is the cable. The cable is absolutely wonderful. It doesn't get these kinks in it that won't come out. It doesn't kind of get that twist in it where even if you wanted to lay your work flat, you couldn't because it's kind of going in all directions, which most of my other cables have done in the past. So I really love that about these needles. That being said, I have found that my gauge is just, it feels like my gauge is just getting looser and looser and looser. And at some point, I'm just like, I don't want to go down to a size 0 needle to knit a sweater that other people are knitting on a size 4. So I'm sort of in limbo, you know, trying to figure out what works best for me. Should I switch to wood needles, or should I just go down to a smaller size needle and stick with metal because it's the same amount of stitches. The metal does help me to knit faster. Does the smaller size really affect my hand that much? So I'm in the process of trying out a few different wood needles. You may remember, if you follow me on Instagram, I recently asked for your suggestions and I got some good ones. So stay tuned because I think in a future episode very soon, I'm going to really dive into my different knitting needles and what I find works for me best and when. So if that's something you're interested in, leave me in the comments anything on that topic that you'd like me to address or chat about as well. You may notice I also have part of my sleeve stitches on hold here on these barber cord. That's not the brand that these are specifically. I actually bought this tubing, this nylon tubing, no, it's not nylon, I think it's silicone tubing on Amazon. I got a whole roll of it so that I can just cut off more as I need it, and it has been an absolutely fabulous investment. It was only like $11 to get it, and I use it on every knitting project. So I'll link that below. If you don't want to have to mess with that though, there are lots of different places that you can buy these pre-cut in sets to really great lengths that work for an entire project, sleeves, body, all of that. And I think the back construction on this is really cool because you have this long section in the back, and I find it very similar almost to a saddle shoulder construction, but it's different. So Haley's always coming up with great ideas. I love her patterns and I'm very excited to get this finished. I plan on wearing this a lot with some short overalls / romper. I'm not really sure, but I got it at Old Navy. It's a linen blend and I think this is going to be really cute underneath it. So that's for sure an outfit that I have planned. And I just want to mention I'm holding this in my Mood Living bag, the Lofoten bag, I think is how you say it, which was very kindly gifted to me by Mood. But if you would like to win one of these in your choice of either a black or the whiskey color, Saturday, June 10th, I will be announcing the giveaway for one of these bags that you can find on my Instagram page. So make sure you are following me at youngfolk.knits and you can enter to win one of these for yourself. Okay, so that is all the knitting I'm going to chat about today. I wanted to share a little bit about some of my sewing plans. I talked a little bit last time about wanting to sew some pants up, and Mega from Skeins of Dreams and myself, we both bought the Jones trousers, which is a zero waist pants pattern from Goldfinch Studios, I think. And we both had those printed. I had a few questions about the whole process of having a sewing pattern printed and what I meant by that. So I thought I would share just a little bit in case you have never heard of that. But before, obviously, sewing patterns were things that by and large you would buy in a packet. It came with the one sewing pattern. It was on the really thin, crinkly, almost like the tracing paper. I can't remember what that's called now. But you would find your size, cut it out, and you had those pattern pieces that you could then fold up and reuse over and over if you wanted to. Then sewing patterns started coming in PDF formats. So you could actually buy them online, print them off, and have them immediately. The only caveat being that you then had 30 to 100 pieces of paper that you needed to cut out and tape together to create your pattern pieces. When you print a pattern at home, you do have the advantage of instantly having it. It may possibly be less expensive, but there's a lot of things that can factor into your sewing pattern being printed at home. First of all, if what you're printing on your paper, maybe your paper gets kind of lopsided in the printer, things are not going to line up when you go to cut your pattern out, and that will affect your finished product. Sometimes you can print a pattern to different scales on accident. It may not actually be at the correct scale. And usually it comes with a little box, and maybe it'll say a 1 inch by 1 inch or a 2 inch by 2 inch, and you should measure that to make sure that it is printing to the appropriate scale, because if that's off, again, your whole pattern is going to be off. So pros and cons to that. Basically, in the end, it's a lot of work, and my pattern pieces don't always line up perfectly because sometimes my pages will kind of get skewed when they're going into the printer, and it drives me absolutely crazy. So I do prefer to have them printed when I can. So this is one that I had printed from PDF Plotting. Was it Charles something? I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below. But there's lots of places you can have patterns printed now. I know in Canada, one of my favorite fabric shops, Blackbird Fabrics, you can have a pattern printed when you order your fabric, or by itself. I mean, you can just have it printed there. You Find Fibers is a yarn and fabric store. You can have patterns printed there. I've had one printed myself. There's quite a few different spots. You can just search, PDF A0 print shop patterns. This I actually received very quickly, and it comes on A0 paper. So that makes it so much easier. You just maybe have 2 or 3 pieces to cut out and piece together to get your pattern, and you know that it is straight, it's the correct size. It's just so much less hassle. So I really, really like having my patterns printed. I've actually got a few different pants patterns that I am going to try to make. I have the Jones trousers, the Arenite pants, and the Winslow culottes that I think I'm going to do a hack to. I'll keep you updated on that. But I wanted to show you a little bit of my fabric. I was watching Brooke Willow's podcast, Anna from Brooke Willow, and she was just sharing about a lot of fabric she recently got. And none of this fabric is new to me. I have a unruly, embarrassing amount of fabric that I have had in my cabinet, the pile growing in size for the last, 10 years. So I'll show you some that I picked out of my cabinet that I have had plans for. I haven't finished it, but I really, really want to get some of this done. I showed y'all before, this is my linen from Blackbird Fabrics, and I have plans to make a button-up linen shirt and a Hinterland dress out of this fabric. As you will see, basically everything I've pulled out is linen. Linen is by far my favorite fabric to wear and to work with. I also have this, which is a lovely fabric from Merchant & Mills. And it is a linen fabric as well, 100% linen. But it's that washed, tumbled linen, so it's so soft. And I got this to make either a Hinterland dress or an Orchards dress, which is a pattern by Vivian Xiaochen. I think this will be absolutely lovely. I really love it. I love the color. I feel like the color can lend itself to multiple seasons. This is some Merchant & Mills linen I have as well. And I also got this for a Hinterland dress. This is linen from Blackbird Fabrics. And I love the little slim stripes. This is for an estuary skirt. So this is my estuary skirt I had printed at Pattern Z, and I'm not sure if they're still printing patterns or not, but I have had probably 10 sewing patterns printed there, and I'm always very pleased with the results. I need to look up and see if they're still printing. This is linen from Merchant & Mills, and I got it for an Orchards dress as well. This is some linen from Blackbird Fibers, and I used this in my Joni top by So Liberated, but I got this mainly for a dress of some kind, like a summer dress. So we'll see what I end up using that for. This is a sort of gauzy style linen. It's very thin. And I bought this from Stone Mountain & Daughter Fibers, and I plan on making a top out of this. So I really think I would like a strata top. I have one strata top and I do love it. I think this would be really nice summery top, or even in the fall to wear under cardigans. I just love the color. I love the fabric. I think this would be really, really nice. I also have some viscose rayon blend fabric that I ordered from Blackbird Fabrics, I don't know, last month during the big sale that they had, and that I will show you guys next time. I'm actually planning on making a dress with that. And then I have some Kaufman Brussels washer linen blend fabric that I'm going to be making some pants out of. So I'm very excited. I will show those to you on the next episode probably, or the one after that, but I'm planning on doing an episode all about some of my sewing projects that I've got going on, so stay tuned for that. Okay, I am so far behind on my spinning. I mean, I am so far behind that I think I'm going to spin a little bit. I finished another bobbin of my Corriedale. This is the Dusty Rose from Dark Lake Fiber Art. So it's time for me to start a new bobbin. And if y'all want to stick around and spin with me for a while, then I think I'm going to do that for a while during this hot part of the day. thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoy videos like this, then make sure and hit that like button. I always appreciate your likes and comments. And also, be sure and subscribe because that way you won't miss out on any new video content. Thanks again, and until next time, happy knitting, y'all.